I'm Kathleen Rudolph, and I'm here today with my friend Larry Evans. Larry and I have been doing theater in this area for 16 years. And we were chatting one day and thought, wouldn't it be really fun if we were able to get an actor, interview them, and ask them all the questions we really wanted to know the answers to? So we decided we would try it. And today I'm going to interview Larry, and we'll find out some things about him. Hi, Larry.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So let's start with the basics. Like, when did you get the acting bug? Have you always had it, or did something happen in your life?
I wanted to be an actor the moment I was born. I think because my mom watched so much television, I would watch television with her. I didn't think about plays until I got a little bit older. I remember being in the play in first grade, and it must have been a funny production because we just did little skits. And I remember, this is a really odd story. I was in first grade and somebody was on stage telling a joke and nobody was laughing. So I came out and pulled my pants down. And we got a laugh. That's my memory. I do remember that I was prepared. I had pajama shorts for underwear.
That's good. That's good. Always prepared.
But the bug was actually probably West Side Story. I had just graduated from college. I had a film degree, and I was going to be the next Steven Spielberg. I was going to act and direct films. And I said, well, I need to sharpen my acting skills. So I started doing theater. And I was doing West Side Story at Thalian Hall, the beautiful theater in Wilmington. And one night when Maria points the gun at my character, I felt this vibe from the audience. It's like, wow, this feels real. And I've been hooked ever since.
Oh, that's so great. That is so great. I love those stories. Did you have a mentor back in the day, or more than one maybe?
I went to community college first, and I had a mentor there. This guy taught speech and was the drama guru of Pinehurst and Southern Pines, and we became best friends. So he was my mentor the most. The past few years, there was a Bob Hazard who directed 2 plays at RLT. He retired here in the late 90s. He was sort of a mentor as well. And I'm always looking for new mentors.
Okay. Did you get any great advice from those people?
Other than articulate, slow down, my excuse that Marlon Brando mumbles never,
I hear you.
Never went by. I think of just being honest. And I think my stepfather was pretty strict. And always he preached to me, never be a show off, never do anything for attention. And then I do theater. So I sort of bring that in too, as well, as that, of course, I'm going to be outlandish and silly on stage, but I always wanted to be real. So I guess just to be honest on stage.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Marlon Brando, because I went to Lee Strasberg in New York, and that's all they talk about is speaking out and being clear. But yet one of their famous people is James Caan. And I'd be like, he mumbles all the time. What are we talking about? So I understand.
I just listened to an interview with James Caan. He just sort of, he was like hustling most of his life, and he just took an acting class and it just took off,
Yeah, I love him, but I just laugh because Lee Strasberg was definitely teaching enunciation, pronunciation, and it made me laugh.
Oh, I truly believe you need to have all that. I don't have the strong skills like many actors do for that.
They do. Do you have a great theater or movie star that you really love? And if so, why?
When I was younger, it was Richard Dreyfuss. I was a gigantic Richard Dreyfuss fan. I wanted to be the next Richard Dreyfuss. That's because I love Jaws so much, and he was in that. And then Spielberg directed him in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And I just became a gigantic Dreyfuss fan. As I've gotten a little bit older, I don't think about him so much. I just watched a movie with him and Chevy Chase he did 2 years ago, and was like, oh, well, they all get older, don't they? But there's so many great actors now. It's so hard to pick who's your favorite actor.
It is.
It's really about the story content and them being honest on stage,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Very believable. What happened at your very worst audition?
Well, I auditioned for a film, TV movie years ago, and I was all excited. It was my first film audition. They sent me down to Charleston for the initial audition, and I walked in, And the casting director was expecting a really big trucker guy, big guy, like 6'5", heavy set, who had a Cajun accent. And that wasn't me. So
wow.
And I've done monologues where I forgot where I was in my monologue and made mistakes. And
we all have. Yes, absolutely. What is one of the favorite shows you've been in, and why was it so great to you?
I think I've been in a lot of great plays, and I have lots of strong memories. And it's like mentioning who's your favorite child. It's really hard to pick one. Now, there's certain shows that meant a lot to me as an actor as I was getting better and better. Bus Stop, when I was 26, playing Bo, that was a big deal. Yeah. West Side Story, because it gave me the bug. When I first got to Raleigh years ago, I was doing Boys Next Door with Haskell. That was a big moment. When I say big moment, it meant like I was doing well and I got a nice role and stuff like that. And
absolutely.
It's funny that I can only maybe list 2 shows, 3 shows. I felt like I didn't get a lot out of doing the production. But I can always find something out of the production that brings value to me. Even to the point where, this is so much like me. I'm in rehearsals and I watch some TV show, I read some book and I go, oh, that's kind of like my character. The whole time in the process, I'm finding things outside the play that makes it relevant to what I'm doing.
Absolutely. That's great. Is there any role you've always wanted to play and haven't done it yet?
Willie in Death of the Salesman. And of course, everybody would love to play George in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. A lot of plays, I'm too old now, so.
I hear you. We'll have to do those characters when they grow up.
Right, I know.
What type of actor is the best type to be on stage with when you're in a show?
It's about another actor who feels the way I do. I just want them to be honest or just be in the moment with them. Because if they're in the moment, it helps me relax, and then I can just be there and not worry about, am I articulating and am I doing okay? I just relax. And there are many actors that we've worked with where it's like, you're right there with them. I remember back in the old days, I did Fiddler on the Roof, sorry. And that was early in my career. And I had not really had many moments on stage, but Lou Criscola was directing and starring in the play, and he had moved from Hollywood and started a theater company.
Nice. And
I was playing his future father, son-in-law, and he did not like me because my character wasn't Jewish. So I was on stage, and he was giving me this dirty look on stage. In character, I went, wow, this is serious. I mean, as soon as he looked at me and I realized this guy was deadly serious, it connected with me.
Right. So the more honest they are, the more honest you can be. Right. Yeah. Do you have like a best moment that really means a lot to you, or when you felt like you either, I don't know, had really nailed whatever you were trying to do, or?
There's been certain parts where you sort of felt like that you owned the part pretty quickly. I felt that way for Cocktail Hour, Don't Dress for Dinner, Woolgad. There's so many plays. And what I was just telling my wife the other day is that what's nice about it, I look back at those plays and think, oh, they were wonderful experiences. But there were moments where I struggled, during the process. But I don't remember those as much. I just remember the success. So.
Right. That's great. Was there ever a really funny thing that happened on stage?
I was doing Star Spangled Girl in Wilmington, and my character is supposed to be handcuffed to a radiator by my roommate. The last 5 minutes of the play, he's supposed to unlock me so we can continue the scene. And one night he couldn't unlock the handcuff from the radiator. And he was struggling. The audience started pitching in ideas. And finally someone just said, hey, and take his handcuff off the other end. So by then we'd already broken the fourth wall. So that was pretty funny.
Oh my God. That's hysterical.
The thing that probably meant the most, and I'll make this quick, was during West Side Story, I was in the Jets and they're in the Sharks. And this is the end of the first act. And this is the scene where, spoiler alert, Riff gets stabbed. But what's supposed to happen is there's a knife and it's supposed to fall down by the Sharks. So Bernardo could pick up the knife to stab Riff. Well, the knife fell and went to our gang. And now I knew that we could not give that knife back to them. But everybody was thinking that, one of the characters in our group picked up the knife, and the Sharks are saying, fair fight, fair fight, fair fight. And the actor knew he had to give the knife back. So he finally gives a knife to him, and I grab him and pretend like I'm beating the heck out of him because I figured my character would just do that.
Right.
And we went off stage. I said, okay, I'm in lots of trouble. And the director actually hugged me and said, that was a great fix. So
it was great that you thought of that in that intense moment. Oh, my goodness.
Only 34 years ago.
So if you could go back in time with all the knowledge that you have now, what advice would you give your young actor self?
Relax. People are not judging you that much. Learn, as we talked first, learn the language, take vocal lessons, don't give up singing lessons. Just relax, because I tend to, even now, I tend to get way nervous, and I have to wait until I get on stage to relax. And that's what I would tell myself.
Very cool. Very cool. And so hopefully this whole crazy world we're in now will end and we'll be able to go out and do what we used to do. What is the first thing you're going to do when you can get out?
Go to the gym and see my friends. And I would like to see some shows as well. I mean, I like the online experience, but it's not I've talked to another theater friend who thinks that maybe everything's going to go online for about a year. And that's dreadful for me. I mean, there's nothing more than being in the audience and just feeling, as we mentioned further, that energy from the actors, and the actors feeling the energy from the audience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's hope it's soon.
Right.
And thank you very much for doing this. And thank you all for watching. Bye now.